Well, very excited about having this gentleman on. I can't believe it's already his third year on the staff of Brian Dutcher. He's a great coach. He's a great guy. We're joined by San Diego State assistant basketball coach on our premier Chevrolet Carlsbad fan hotline. Coach Chris Acker joins us on 97.3 The Fan. Coach Acker, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, Coach.
Oh, great to have you, man. 3 years. I can't believe it. It seemed like you just got to town.
I know. It seems like it's going by so fast, but, that's the beauty of having great staff and being around really good players every single day. They make it easy on you.
Hey, I had J.D. Luster on last week, a San Diego guy, and I remember calling his a couple of his high school basketball championship games. Are you teaching him the ropes at San Diego State, him being a rookie on that staff?
Well, he's come in and he's done a tremendous job of just adapting. I think, when you join a staff like this, you just try to fit in and figure out, where you can help. I mean, before I got here, this program was very successful, and so I tried to do the same thing when I first got here, just try to find my way, figure out where I could help, and continue to move the program forward.
Boy, you guys have had an outstanding year. And I said early in the year, Coach, when you guys lost a couple of games, I told the listening audience, I go, don't panic. I go, they're going to lose 6, 7, maybe 8, 9 games this year. But at the end of the day, they're going to be a tournament team. And it's taken a while, I mean, with limited practice time, the COVID problems every team has had to dealt with. I mean, you guys right now, I think, and this has been a trademark of Brian Dutcher, and I'd go back to Coach Fisher as well, the team gets better come a tournament time. And right now, you're coming off that big win the other, and that was a fantastic basketball game.
Yeah, no, it was really fun to be a part of. Our guys went up there with the right mindset. And like you said, at the start of the year, it's always, and when you're bringing in new guys and you're losing key pieces, you're always trying to figure out, where your firepower is going to come from on the offensive end. You're trying to figure out and get guys adapted to how we defend and how we scout and how we do certain things. So you never can tell when that time or where that moment is going to be. But I think, we're at the point now where we're reaching that stride. And, we feel, that our guys are excited right now to be in the gym. And I think that's the most important thing this time of the year, because it's never easy in March. But it's important to be excited to be in the gym and to be in the gym early, working out and putting forth that effort to become better. And that's been our primary focus all year.
We're visiting with the assistant basketball coach at San Diego State, Chris Acker, joining us here on 97.3 The Fan. We'll get to the star players here in a minute, but I want to talk about the bench, because you got a lot of guys on that bench. Some guys, coming off the bench, they don't like it and they think they ought to be starting. But, you got some guys that have been around college basketball. I look at a guy like Tomajic, and, he's had an up and down year. There's been nights where he's come in and performed very well. Other nights he's gotten limited time, hadn't been able to do a whole lot. Diabate, the transfer from Portland. You look at Chad Baker-Mazara the other night, 0 points, 3 rebounds, though. Guaca Rope. I mean, all those guys, even though their stats, they don't fill up a stat sheet, a lot of hustle plays out of that group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, for sure. And, with that being said, our guys are really starting to adapt to the fact that at the end of the day, it comes down to winning the game. And so they try to do whatever is called to them to win the game. And, like you said, Chad Baker, played unbelievably down in Fresno. And then, he's had hit and miss games where he struggled a little bit from the offensive end, but also that's because, depending on the way the game is moving, who we have in the game. And so, it's hard when you're coming off the bench and you don't know when exactly you're going to go in. And, like you said earlier with the COVID and all the different things going on, sometimes we don't know game to game who's going to be available. And so it makes it hard on a coaching staff to say, okay, you're going to play this amount of minutes, you're going in at this particular time. And credit to our guys, they've adjusted, they've adapted to, just the entire year, but also, us as a coaching staff and how we've had to try to do things in order to win the game.
I look at Adam Seiko, and again, for the fans maybe tuned in late, I mentioned it in my open. It was announced yesterday by San Diego State that both Matt Bradley and Adam Seiko plan to come back, and they're not going to take part in senior night tomorrow night. And by the way, in the 2 o'clock hour, folks, we're going to be giving away tickets to the ball game tomorrow night. Fresno State in town to take on the Aztecs. Adam Seiko, to me, in most of his career, has been very up and down shooting the basketball. It really seems like he's found his stride and really found his stroke now.
Yeah, and he's just a veteran leader. We trust Adam so much, and he just does a tremendous job of really communicating with the younger guys and, holding them accountable and just being that guy off the bench that we can always depend on from a defensive standpoint. And then he hits timely shots. He hits big shots. And, he's a guy that lives in the gym. So we have no doubt that, every game that he shoots the ball, we think it's going to go in. And so if we have that belief in him and he has that belief in himself, then we just live with the results. And he's always in the gym working. So how could we not believe in him? But he's been an unbelievable asset to this program even before I got here and up until now. And we're really looking forward to him coming back and continuing to be a contributor to this program.
A guy that hit a couple of big shots the other night, Keshad Johnson. At one point in time this year, he was 1 for 21 on three-point attempts. Recently, he's been finding the range, and, man, he came up with 2 big ones the other night.
Yeah, no, his belief in himself. And, again, it comes down to the work that these guys put in. I mean, people may see the end result being 1 of 15 or 1 of 17, whatever it is, but they don't realize that he's in the gym. I mean, he's in the gym right now, and he's shooting 200-300 shots every single day before practice. So when he shoots it, he believes it's going in. And we knew going into that game that Wyoming was going to give up those shots. And, we talked to him about it. We talked to Trey about it. We talked to our entire team about how we were going to be guarded. And in order to win a game like that, you have to have a lot of confidence, but that confidence comes from putting in the work. And Keshad's just another example of that.
Chris Acker, assistant basketball coach, San Diego State, joining me here on 97.3 The Fan. A guy that I thought at the end of last year, Coach Acker was playing marvelous basketball. This year, he was kind of hit or miss early. Then he got shut down with COVID. He came up down the stretch the other night in crunch time, came up with 2 big buckets, and that's Trey Pulliam. And, man, as a coaching staff, you guys had to be happy to see the way he played. Hopefully he continues what he did Monday night in Wyoming the remainder of the year, because he is a difference maker, taking a little pressure off of Matt Bradley offensively.
No, we were just super excited for Trey. His resilience this year in our individual meetings and just in our film sessions and just trying to help him get more comfortable, get a clear understanding of what the expectations are and keeping himself in the right place mentally and keeping himself on the floor, trying to find his rhythm and keeping him in rhythm. He's just let it all go and just focused on winning the competition and pouring into his teammates. And I think he's reaping the benefits of doing that. But he's just in a great space right now. Like I said at the beginning, I was just super excited for him coming up big for his teammates, because I know how much it means for him to not only win the game, but for his teammates to know from his own standpoint that he's willing to step up and take those shots when it really matters.
Got a few more questions for you here. I want to talk about Lamont Butler. I know he had the fractured wrist early in the year, and, you lose time on the court, you lose time in conditioning. But I'm telling you, and you've been around basketball a long time, you played professionally, this kid has only scratched the surface. I'm waiting for him really to explode one night offensively, because he's got the ability, I think, to explode.
Yeah, no, I mean, people saw that, a couple times this year already, but, also if you go back to last year at Utah State, you see flashes of, how he can impact the game on the offensive end. And he's just starting to, like you said, figure it out. I mean, his best basketball is ahead of him because he's still trying to figure out how he can make his teammates better. And I think once he opens up his game and starts figuring out, that there's ways to make others better around him and then find his gaps to where he can score the basketball and just try to find that rhythm within there, he's going to be really, really, really good. He's a dynamic defender, ultra competitive, strong, physical, comes from a great high school basketball program at Riverside Poly. So, we know what we signed up for when we got him, and we understand, that he's got a lot of work ahead of him, but the sky's the limit to what he can become.
And finally, got to talk about Matt Bradley, a career-high 30 the other night. Not only is, I know he's had a couple of tough games. He had the 2-point game. He had the game where he could have pretty much iced it, a couple of weeks ago where he missed the 2 free throws with 7 seconds to go, and they come down. Boise State ends up getting 2 free throws with a second to go. But this kid's had a heck of a year. And the other thing that it impressed me, it looks like his conditioning levels, the season's gone on, has gotten much better.
Yeah, no, he's done an amazing job. I think one of the discrepancies about Matt is that he's purely a scorer. What people don't realize is he's one of our best passers, and he's a willing passer. And when you see his numbers fluctuate, it's based on how he's being guarded, and he's okay with just getting the win. And that's what I think is special about him. We played at Fresno State a couple weeks ago, and I think he might have had 2 points or something like that. But if you'd have seen his face on the bus and how excited he was to come out with the win and to see his teammates, step up and perform as he was passing them the ball and everything, that's what you get excited about as a coach and staff, is just having winners in your program and guys that are adapting to the culture that's been set here. So, Matt's going to be finishing this season extremely strong, and we look forward to hopefully having him back next season as well.
Hey, Chris, last question. You've been coaching a long time. You've been in hostile environments. Laramie, Wyoming is a hostile environment. I remember doing a TV game there many years ago where somebody threw a full water bottle and almost hit Steve Fisher in the head after the Aztecs won a game. The other night, their crowd was going crazy. The one kid got ejected for giving Lamont a bunch of crap when he got pushed out of bounds. But when you win a game like that galvanizes like your 20 person travel party, the excitement, and that's only going to bode well moving forward as you get to the Mountain West Conference tournament and the NCAA tournament, winning a game like that.
No, absolutely. What's exciting is, we have a great fan base, and the show showed up for that game. We had, boosters and just our academic advisor and some of our media people on the trip, and Uncle Ted was on the trip. So just to see their excitement after that game and watch how they responded to that, and know that, our guys came out there and represented San Diego and represented San Diego State University at the highest level. And, we not only did we win the game, we kept our composure in the hostile environment. That's what you take pride in as a coach and staff, knowing that you got the right guys in your program that can go in an environment like that, win the game, celebrate, get on the plane, come back, and be in a film session focusing on the next game the very next morning. That's when you got a special group. So, definitely exciting, and happy we were able to come out with that win.
Well, hey, good luck tomorrow night against the Bulldogs at Viejas Arena, and good luck Saturday night up there against Stevie Alford and Nevada Wolfpack, and look forward to doing this again maybe before the conference tournament next week.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't want it to take this long next time. I look forward to getting back on with you, Coach.
Hey, be well, Chris. Thanks for the time.
All right, thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.